Good evening, all my friends. Let's see, I forgot to turn my telephone off. That's a good way to start it. There we go. I hope everyone's had a good week. It's Thursday, so that's sitting together day. Who do we have here today? It's that delay again. It takes 20 seconds before I say something and you guys see it. I mean, after I say something, for you guys to hear it is 20 seconds. Hey, JVB, nice to see you. Jack, nice to see you too. Jack, were you at? What time zone did you say you were in? Good evening, because are you in the same time zone? SJ, hi. Haven't seen you before. It's funny, I drink tea. It's 28 degrees Celsius outside. We haven't had it this warm in Sweden for a long time. So, but I got the AC on in here, so it's quite okay. Lower. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, looking forward to today. It's one of those days when just a lot of stuff happen. And you know, when you have constantly from morning until the afternoon, there's just thing after thing after thing. And what I find really stressful is, that's exactly the same time zone, right, Jack? What I find difficult to handle is when I have lots of meetings. I don't mind working for long stretches of time, but I find it difficult when I have to be there at a certain amount of time and I have to finish something between a certain time. That can be difficult, because then if that gets delayed and that gets delayed, and that's kind of stressful. Watching from America, by the way. Nice. Yeah, I have quite a few coaching students I've had from the States. What time zone are you in? Is it 6? I think 6 to 9 hours difference from here to the States, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But it's nice to see when you have that time, because like I said, if you think about time as being spread out, meaning that you feel like, okay, this is going to happen and this happened, then it becomes stressful. But if you can just collapse into just feeling, okay, well, right now I am drinking tea, so I don't really have to worry about all the other stuff. Or right now I'm fixing, earlier we were actually selling we have a caravan that we've had for a few years, and I loved going away on the caravan, but it's just become too many things. Even though it's a fun thing, it's one of those things that just takes up time, because if you have a vehicle, you have to clean it, you have to keep it in order, you have to do a test every year with, I think we call it besiktning, like DMV I think it's called in America. So you have to do tests on it to make sure everything works, and then all these things need to be taken care of, and that just takes up your focus. So it's nice to kind of minimize the amount of things you need to do. Hey Alex, how's it going? So currently we're trying to cut away things to just minimize, and I'm trying to focus on, like, if you actually become clear in your head what you focus on, it's a lot easier. So I'm focusing on family, work, and our home, and I was going to say my family, but the YouTube channel, which is kind of my family in a way also, it feels like sometimes when people keep coming back. Nice. Thursday. I'm thinking of when I was ordained, there was a center up in Sri Lanka called Nilambe, and I think they used to start on Thursdays, I can't remember. And it's always fun when you went up, you had to go a tuk-tuk up a mountain, so you'd have to go up to Kandy, which is up in the mountains. You'd have to take a bus there, and it's a long bus ride. They go around all these hills, and they drive like absolutely crazy. No mufflers on the buses, and you came to this big bus station, then you took a tuk-tuk, and you go one of these small roads until you came to a mountain, and then you had to go with the tuk-tuk up the mountain on a really gravel small road that was just barely drivable. And high up on the mountain there was a small center, and it was just so nice up there. It was like we had no electricity, so you had to have candlelight. Like this time of day, 8 o'clock, it would be dark pretty much. You would have to have candlelight, and if you read a book, you'd need to read it by candlelight. If you wanted to go somewhere, you had to have a candlelight or a flashlight when you walked around. And there was just something really nice about not having electricity, and the silence and the animals and all the sounds. And in the mornings, they would start with all the bird sounds. You'd be walking up, and then if you've been to Sri Lanka up in the mountains, eventually there's all the speakers with the prayers. So there's Buddhist speakers be screaming out Buddhist prayers, and then there's Muslim speakers screaming out Muslim prayers, and then there's Christian speakers crying out Christian prayers, and it's just kind of ruins the mountain mood. But still, it's nice to be up there in the mornings. JVB is asking, how old am I? You seem young. I'm 46, so I'm not that, well, everything is relative. I feel pretty young, except for my body. I have quite a lot of physical pain. I have herniated discs and broken knees and stuff like that, but I look pretty young. It must be the meditation. Nice. So, anything, it's a mess living in plural region. Yes, it is. I think I've heard stories that I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I've heard stories that there's kind of like wars going on. Wars, not really wars, but feuds going on about who can play the loudest. So it really seems like one play, and it's not like they're just playing it like, or just playing some prayers. It's really screaming. You can be kilometers away and it's still like, oh my goodness, that's loud. So I imagine if that would have been close to your home, I mean, you would have woken up. There's no way you can sleep with that. And then, yeah, so then they do it, and then the neighbors do it, and then everyone does it, and everyone's just doing it more. It's messy. I have cervical, what, Alex? You look like you're in your 30s. Thank you. Up here, I feel like I'm a teenager still. I play with my kids, and we got the same kind of level on our jokes. Like that. It infuriates my fiance sometimes, but I have a really low level of humor. It still makes me laugh when I hear poop sounds and farts and stuff. I think that's healthy, though. That's good to laugh about things. I don't know why we take things so seriously when we get older. I have one thought. I've seen my kids, they're 5.5 and 2 years old, and for them it's just play. Everything is play. It's just like, why can't we just keep on playing? What do you need to do? Mama, Papa, you're so boring. Why do you have to clean and just go to work and do these things? And for them, it's just, their minds is just, what do I do now to have fun? They don't have all these things that you get when you get older, when you have responsibilities and you need to do things. I think that's part of the reason why it's so difficult to stay with that youthful happiness, because we tend to take on these responsibilities and they're like, oh, I have to do, and it feels heavy, and there's again this distortion, because maybe you don't even want to do them and still you're forced to do them. So it's it's difficult. Next, cervical. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I have 3 herniated discs in my neck. If that's is that the same you have? Neck pain, yeah. I got it while I was scuba diving in Palau many years ago. But then it went out my left arm. I actually have a theory about this. I was scuba diving and I was a follow guide dive. So I would look up like this and I squeezed so much that I ruined 3 discs in my neck. And I lost I couldn't feel my arm. I got elephant skin. It was just so thick because I lost my sensations here. And it was really bad. I always said, like, if the pain would have stayed that bad the rest of my life, I'd just commit suicide. You just can't live with pain like that. It's just difficult to understand how tough it is to live with really strong chronic pain. This was many years ago. But it passed, and then that kept, I could always feel a tingling in my left arm, a little finger. And when I started meditating and I went through all these stages, I sometimes talks about how I sit and shake. You can see it when I meditate. Sometimes I do like this kind of, I'll do like a twist. It's because this like feeling of movement going up and down the spine, some call it kundalini. For me, it kind of stops here where I have the neck injury, and it can make me do like all kinds of like this, and it cracks the bones in my neck. So I think part of the reason why I have such an easy time meditating is because that keeps building up that pressure, so that when it wants to go through, that becomes a really strong point of awareness, and it's easy for me to stay aware. And it also makes it easy for me to know when I'm in a non-centric or non-dual state, because I've had that going up and down for the last 14 years, I think it is, since 2010. I just have that all the time. And then whenever I'm in a non-centric state, it just disappears. I don't have that pressure anymore. I forgot to bring my throat pills. I hope I'll be fine. Fortunately, it's not a guided meditation. So, Let's do our sitting. My throat is cutting out, but we'll see. First we do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is 5 things we can see, 4 things we can feel, and 3 things that we can hear. 2 things that we can... I'm so sorry, I apologize, but I actually have to run in and get the thing for my throat. I've had a really bad cold. This is weird, but I'm gonna have to go away for just 2 minutes. Bear with me, and I'll be back, and we'll just start meditation right away. I'm sorry. So, back, I apologize. I'm really sorry. It tickles so much in my throat. I actually can't talk. So I need to fix that. What was I saying? Yes. It's back to being serious. We do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is we say out aloud 5 things we can see, 4 things we can touch, 3 things we can hear, 2 things we can smell, and 1 thing that we can taste. And then we'll start the meditation for 20 minutes afterwards. We're open to questions and answers and a discussion, if my throat can handle it. So, five things I can see. I can see the light from the window in the door. I can see a computer screen. I can see a microphone. I can see a cup of tea and my throat pills. It's important to say these out loud if you can. It's not about saying the things and observing. It's about being aware that you're seeing. Not trying to judge them, not trying to be aware of what it is. You're just being aware that I am seeing now. So the next thing is 4 things that we can touch. I can touch this beautiful woolen sofa. I can touch my socks. I can touch my computer. And I can touch this sweater lying behind me. Then we do 3 things that we can hear. And they gradually get more and more fine, so you need to calm down and really focus inwards to be aware. So 3 things that I can hear. I can hear the fan from the air conditioner. I can hear a bird singing. I can hear the tires of a car. Afterwards, we'll do 2 things that we can smell. I can smell sweat. And I can smell the smell that an air conditioner does, that moisture smell. Finally, we do 1 thing that we can taste. I can taste the citrus of the throat pill that I'm taking. As usual, you're welcome to keep on sitting or ask questions or have a discussion if you feel like it. See, I think I missed some chat here before. SJ was asking, can you give any advice on sitting with proper posture? Yes, I can. If you're still here, SJ, I don't know if you left. When it comes to posture, the main importance is that you have a straight back and that you're comfortable. The meditation posture that you see in influencers videos, they all sit like this, and in the full lotus position, that's not really how most people sit when they meditate. I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't. Actually, the full lotus is a really good position to get a good posture, but it's difficult to do it long term, and I have never been to a center with intensive long-term meditation where people sit in that posture. So the easiest way is to just sit cross-legged comfortably, and then focus on keeping a straight back. You don't want to lean your back against something to support you, because that makes you relaxed and you kind of lose that energy that you get from sitting with a straight back. Hands, same thing. I usually just put them like this, something comfortable, not like this. It's not a good thing to sit. I also, like I said, this is so ergonomically wrong to sit with your hands out like this. So you would sit like this. Sometimes you can, if you feel something, you can put a hand to your chest or somewhere where you feel something. If you want to put awareness to that part that you're feeling, you can always do that. There's nothing, not really that there's anything wrong. The main thing is don't hurt or damage yourself. Focus on keeping a straight back, and think about if you would do this for 10 hours, how would you sit? And I'm not saying you should sit 10 hours. I'm just saying that forces you to think, okay, what would actually make sense? How would I sit if I want to sit that long? Then very likely you're not going to try something really strange. You can also sit in a chair. There's meditation stools that are really good to sit on. You can have, see, Jack is saying, stuffed pillow does a good job for a long time to sit and still. Yeah. You can sit where you sit with the stool. You just put your legs underneath you and you sit on the stool. You can also put a pillow between your legs and sit on that one. That's a good posture as well. Stand, lie down, whatever you want. I did make a video where I go into quite a lot of detail. If you look on my channel, it's, let's see what it's called. Is it 3 things or... Gonna see what it's called, so you can just search that video. It is called Don't Use Back Support While Meditating, Do This Instead. And there I go into quite a bit of detail on how to sit. I put my hands on my lap, sounds good, palm facing upwards, yeah. So kind of like this, I'm assuming. I like this, yeah. Just make sure it's relaxed. If you feel tension, you kind of just do like this. And make sure you let go of the tension. That's the main thing. You don't want to keep tension with you. Let's see, JVB is asking how I twitch too when I meditate. I think it's my anxiety though that makes me twitch. Yeah, there can be lots of stuff coming up. And he's gone. Yes, I had to go away. I'm sorry about that. I really needed my throat pills. Nice. It's like they say, when you're sick, you only want one thing. You want to get healthy. When you're not sick, then you want everything, kind of. Good health is a gift. It's really something. Even though I have a lot of physical ailments, like joints, aches and pains, and with my neck and everything, it causes all kinds of issues. I still consider myself very, very lucky. I don't have anything serious. Well, depends on what you define with serious, but I mean, no life-threatening diseases. I don't have this chronic pain that I have now from my neck is not to the point where I can't handle it. There are some people that go around with pain that you just wouldn't believe. They need to drug themselves to just get through the days, and that would be terrible. Or having crippling anxiety, or there's so many terrible things that can happen to you. So if you are healthy, then really appreciate it. Jack is asking, do you have a sore throat? Long time. I've had it since I think Monday, Tuesday, and it's really tickling. So the problem is when I lie down to sleep, it just tickles, and it's really, I just need to do something. I can't just sit still when I have it. So I drink lots of tea with honey, but also have these really good pills, and I take morphine. Like not real morphine, but there's a prescription medicine for cough, which is called something. I got it when I had a really bad cold some time ago, and I use it now, and it's so bad that even that doesn't really take away the tingling in my throat, so that I can sleep. It takes a long time. SJ, I have almost achieved everything in life, but I still don't know why God put us on this planet or what our purpose is. What would happen if you found out, SJ? What is it you expect would change? I talk quite a lot about this. If you have everything you wanted to, and you've achieved a lot of things in life, it's very likely that you're a driven person, just like I used to be. I believe that if I would only get this, then something would change. So you work towards this goal, and you think, if I can only achieve this goal, I'm going to get some kind of reward. And for you, I don't know what it is you've achieved, but maybe it's financial success, maybe it's getting a fiance, a partner, a family, or a house, or success in sports, or whatever it is. You have these things, and you believe, if I can only get that, then I'm going to feel content, I'm going to be happy. And then you become spiritual, and you replace that with, if I can only find out why I'm here, what's my purpose, why did God put us here, is there a God? And it's the same thing. I'm not saying those answers don't exist. I'm just saying you can never find out those answers. And for doing what I'm talking about here, they're just distractions. If you want to feel happy and really enjoy being here now and appreciating this incredible world we have around you, with all the experiences, and not just experiences from, oh wow, that's amazing, but experiences as in just breathing is incredibly enjoyable. Being alive and walking is like a storm of sensations, sensory input. It is in and of itself incredible, but we have all these ideas like, oh no, that's nothing, I need to achieve these bigger things. So from the perspective of trying to get more into here, more into now, more into experiencing what your senses are showing you, then why God put us on this planet or what our purpose is, it's irrelevant. It has nothing to do with this. And you'll always get into trouble when you start talking to other people, because they will say, well, it's this. No, SJ, you're wrong, it's actually this. And then there's a person over there who says, like, you all are crazy, it's this is the truth. And I mean, I always say this, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. And you're not going to find the answers through meditation. I meditated tens of thousands of hours. And I've seen and heard and experienced so many things that I could interpret into something. But I mean, that doesn't mean that you'll ever find the answer to why God put us here, or that even God is true. Because if you really look at when you're experiencing in meditation, you realize that you can't trust anything. It just seems like when the mind is really relaxed, it spits out lots of stuff, and your senses start spitting out stuff that could be bleed through from a higher dimension, from the past, from the future, from the matrix, from some other way that life is taking place that we don't even understand. My point is that it's irrelevant. What are you experiencing now, and why aren't you happy? That's like the only thing you need to do. Jack is saying, time and place are nothing. Constructs of a feeble mind attempting to categorize and understand the world around it. I mean, the way that we talk about time and place, I agree. But there definitely is a passage of time. And there seems to be a space where we occupy right now. Whether that's true or not, I mean, you're right, Jack, we can't know that. I'm so sorry, I actually can't keep on talking. My throat is a little bit too bad. I wanted to have a question and answer because I really like these discussions, but it seems like I'm not well enough tonight. We'll have to cut it short today, and we'll be back on Monday instead, and then we'll have a guided meditation. Hopefully my cold is a bit better so we can talk a little bit more, because I really enjoy that part. I wish everyone an amazing weekend, and meditation. Be sure to meditate until then. Thank you.